Hubie Halloween is the newest horror comedy to arrive on Netflix, and this stars Adam Sandler and his grown-ups pals. Basically, the cast of grown-ups basically return in this. Like, one of them plays a cop, another one plays an escaped convict. And yeah, there's a lot of familiar faces from Adam Sandler's movies that are in this. So a lot of cool cameos and a lot of good home movie references if you are listening carefully. So let's get into this. So how was Hubie Halloween? This movie was good. I won't say it was great, but was it funny? Yeah. Did it make me laugh? Yes. One joke in particular about a boner, and about how the word it's not exactly used in its proper sentence here. It's used like as a completely different term in this movie, which yeah, that gave me a good laugh. Like the sentence that it was, these sentences that it was used in, made for a good joke, and just how like bizarre and weird the joke was, just made it funny to me. And just like and the delivery and the sentence structure on how it's used, I thought was really well done. So the humor, for the most part, like there are a few jokes that do feel forced, but for the most part, the humor was quite funny. This movie has a good Halloween atmosphere. Like you get the vibe that it's Halloween season. You get the vibe that that it's Halloween spirit. And this movie really, to me, it really captures like Halloween. Like most houses are decorated with Halloween decorations and everybody's dressed up, everyone's trick or treating, so it really captures and just like the whole look and feel of it. It feels like Halloween. And there's a few musical songs in this movie that blend themselves really well to the Halloween season. Like in the opening of this movie, Monster Mash is playing, and then like there's a Ghostbusters theme song, and then there's like Werewolves of London. So the music definitely adds to the Halloween feel of this movie. Adam Sandler in this movie, he is a lot better in this movie than he has been in some of his other roles. He does have that same like goofy over the top, but I feel like for this movie it works because like a lot of this movie he is screaming, and his character, like he gets scared easily, like he tries to act all tough, but that's more just himself, as this movie has a really good message at the end about how like everybody's kind of like hiding themselves, like just because like picking on Adam Sandler's character is cool, but then all the secrets start to come out in the last maybe 20 minutes of this movie. But Adam Sandler's character, he just stays to who he is. Like he's just himself, and the way that we see his character being portrayed in this movie is himself, not Adam Sandler as Adam Sandler, but as his character. Like you will know what I mean. I might be quoting it terribly, but it's like there's a great message. There's a great heartwarming message in the third act about don't be anyone you aren't. Be yourself, and that is a great message. I thought this movie did really well. It wasn't just shoved in there last second. It was actually I thought it was well thought out, and then we see the townsfolk, we see at least the ones who have been captured by this killer, who I won't reveal, I won't get into spoilers, but the ones who have been captured, we hear their perspective and how like some of them are weird, but they pick on him because that's what makes him fit in, and they just want to be like his character. And it's like I thought the ending was really good in this movie. This movie has some horror movie references, especially if you're a horror fan, you will pick up on these. There was one reference probably mid of the second act that was referencing a Nightmare on Elm Street regarding a number and a street name, and the street name is Elm Street, which is clearly referencing A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then there's a reference to Christine, and then there's a reference to When a Stranger Calls, and yeah, there's if you're a horror movie fan, you will pick up on these references, and like they were just like little things in this movie that I really like picking up. I was just like, oh, so that's a reference from Elm Street. That's a reference from When a Stranger Called, and that's a reference from this, and that's a reference from this. And I just thought that was like a fun thing. Just as a horror fan, it gives us like something more to look for in this movie. When I heard the Nightmare on Elm Street reference, I was like, wait, what? Wait, what did he just say? So I had to go back and rewatch that little snippet, and I was like, did he say Elm Street? I was just like, yeah, that's a reference to Nightmare on Elm Street. So I actually had to go back and, like, at parts in this movie, this is, I guess, a negative, I guess, is at points in this movie, Adam Sandler is a bit hard to understand because when he was saying, like whatever number Elm Street, I was just like, wait, did he say Elm Street? Like it wasn't clear. It's like the voice, like sometimes like he is over the top with the voice and he is, you know, crazy and out there, which I don't have a problem with that. Especially like for a comedy, I feel like you can be over the top, but you can't be like overly crazy over the top. So I feel like I feel like there's an okay over the top, and I feel like that's where it's roundabout where Adam Sandler was in this movie. Like he is giving a very out there, over the top performance, but as I said, I thought it worked for his character, but just like the voice, like sometimes it is a bit hard to understand, but yeah, that's probably my only negative. And yeah, and not all the jokes in the movie work. Like probably at least most of them worked. There were just a few. There were just a few that didn't. But then the ending brought it home, like I said, with a heartwarming message that I enjoyed. This part of the video I'm filming a day after I filmed the part that you just saw in this review. So I'm kind of splitting it into parts because, you know, I have a busy 31 days of Halloween review schedule. You know, I have to watch this movie, I have to watch that movie, and I have to review those movies as well. So because this is my first you actually doing the 31 days. So starting from next week, this is just a heads up. I might not be able to do, you know, like the full 7 minute, the full 14, 16 to half an hour reviews like I do. I might just bring back the whole thumbs up, thumbs down reviews because, you know, they're quicker, they're less time consuming. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about me bringing them back? I've tried to keep these reviews short, but there's been a couple where I've really had to really express how I really feel. Like with Wes Craven Presents The Breed. With that movie, I could not just film a 7 minute review or a 30-second quick reaction to what my thoughts are on that movie. I actually had to say why, and I actually had to give examples and all that because I was just so pissed at that movie. So anyways, let's move on from that. So there's also a romance story going on in Hubie Halloween between Adam Sandler's character and a girl he used to know back in high school that was best known for being the most prettiest girl and best dressed and all of these things. Because I've seen this movie where, from memory, Adam Sandler was going through the school diary and he came across Violet Valentine's, which she lives in Salem, I believe, the town that this movie is based in, and I think they actually shot it in Salem as well. I could be wrong on what the town's called, but at least I recall this movie saying Salem. She lives in this town and Adam Sandler has a little thing for her, and then all the secrets start to unfold in the ending of this movie, and you find out how these two characters, both Adam Sandler's character and Violet Valentine's, how they feel about each other. And I won't give away how that all happens, but the romance story how it unfolds in this movie, it was okay. Like it's definitely not the worst romance story I've seen in a comedy movie. So I won't stretch it that far, but I think it could have been better. But I feel like for what we got, like this isn't the worst. It's not the greatest either. It's just okay. I felt like it worked for this movie, and the script isn't always like great. Like as I said before, the movie does get boring about maybe 30, 40 minutes into this movie where it just feels like it's not really focused on story. And yes, I know you guys can probably say that, Dove, it's a comedy. You aren't there for the story. You're there to have a good laugh. Like, and yeah, you are true. That is 100% right, my friend. But this, like, being a movie reviewer on YouTube and going into these movies, like criticizing them and and analyzing how the script is, the acting is, the characters is, like I look for more in a movie like this than just laughs. But if a comedy does make me laugh, that definitely does bump up my grade for this movie than for a movie that was marketed as a comedy that didn't make me laugh. So, and this movie did make me laugh quite regularly. At least in the first 3 minutes, I feel like that's when the movie is still like fresh and it hasn't quite hit that boring part of the movie yet. Like that's when the jokes are at their best. Is in the first 30 minutes, but then like there's still like a handful of jokes even after that. Like this isn't a long movie. This is like 90 minutes, like regular movie length, like a feature length. So like 90 to 100 minutes. So it could be 80 minutes. Like I'm actually not sure, but this movie felt a lot longer than it was. Like this movie felt it was at least 2 hours long. By the time this movie hit its midway point, there was just some sense it's just dragged on. It just felt like this movie, I believe, is like 90 minutes long. Just for the sake of this review, like I didn't look it up, but just for the sake of this review, I'm gonna go with 90 minutes. Like I could be 100% wrong. This movie could be 120 minutes, as far as I know. But as for this review, I think this movie is short. It's like around 90 to 100 minutes, so like feature length. By the end of this movie, by the time the credits roll at the end of this movie felt like 2 hours. It did not feel like an hour and a half. And at that point, when this movie really just slows down and it gets boring, that's when the movie starts to drag itself out. But the acting is still good. There's still some okay jokes in this movie. Adam Sandler's character, like you can, I guess, feel you have some sympathy for him, even though the movie kind of more pokes fun at that situation about how everyone in the town is kind of like out to get him and he's being mean to him and he's the one who like he doesn't know really how to stand up for himself, which that is a big part of the third act's message, which I've already addressed in this review. So yeah, there was a bit of sympathy to feel, but like all of those scenes when people are throwing like glass bottles and like other items at him, it's more used as comedic effect. My final thoughts on Hubie Halloween. This is a good movie. When I get those rare comedies that actually make me laugh, unlike a lot of comedies that we get nowadays that just aren't funny and they overdo their welcome. I've got to give credit for if a comedy makes me laugh because that's the job of a comedy. And if the comedy does make you laugh, it's done its job. And this movie did make me laugh a lot more than I thought going into this movie. So, and Adam Sandler is entertaining to watch on screen. If you can get over his over the top performance, you can enjoy this movie, and it is a fun movie to watch. If you just want like a fun horror comedy for this month, I'd suggest checking out Hubie Halloween. And I will have a review coming for Vampires versus the Bronx. That's the other Netflix horror comedy that's recently came to Netflix. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to be watching it tonight. And I should have a review for it tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know how that movie is. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to leave you with this question: if you had seen Hubie Halloween, let me know down in the comments. What did you think of Hubie Halloween? Did you like it? Did you think it was mad, or did you really not like it? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.